So getting to come here to El Salto, Mexico at Angler's Inn, this is a dream vacation for any angler, especially me coming from, fishing the tournament season all year long, to get to come here and chase big bass, and a lot of them. It's awesome. But what's even more important to me is the brands that's having me along. Berkley and Abu Garcia, they truly care about our input as anglers on how the product's working, how it's holding up, and what could be better for the future. I mean, that's so crucial, and to keep developing a brand and keep developing product that's going to be, that much better down the road.
Anglers in Lake El Salto, Mexico, world renowned for some of the meanest largemouth bass in the world. This is big fish, heavy line, big baits, and it puts any tackle to the test. We come down here with our new Revo 4s to really push them to the limit and make sure that even under these harsh conditions, they'll stand up to anything.
To chase after giant fish, that could possibly be the biggest fish of your life. I want to take full advantage of it. We're going to put these new Gen 4 Revo reels to the test, the new Veritas rods, and we're going to see if these giant bass want to eat some Berkley Max Scent power bait. It's going to be an epic week. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and highlight some of the things and products that really stuck out to me this week. A lot of them already out on the market, available to you and I. Some of the things I can't talk about quite yet. Some exciting new stuff coming out, but I wanted to go ahead and touch upon the things that really caught my attention this week here in Mexico. First off, let's talk reels. Abu Garcia's released the new Revo Gen 4 reels this year at ICAST, and fortunately for me, I've been able to use them all. The SX, the STX, the winch, all of them but one, and that's the Revo X. This is a really intriguing reel because of the price point. This is a $100 reel, and I always get the question, what's the best reel for the most affordable price? And this is usually coming from a college or high school angler, and after this week in Mexico, my answer to them is the Revo X, because this reel feels just like its older brothers of the Revo family. It looks and feels so good in your hand, and to put it up against all these big fish here in Mexico, you couldn't ask any more out of a reel to perform any better. And I just wish I had this reel 6 years ago when I was just getting started in the tournament fishing and buying up reels and how expensive everything was. This reel right here is definitely a great reel if you're not wanting to break the bank. Now let's talk about some baits. Berkley has come out with the new Power Bait Max Scent family, and this is a revolutionary design to soft plastics. The biggest player this week of the Max Scent family had to be the General. First off, the material that is used is unlike any other soft plastic. Instead of it being real rubbery and plastic feeling, this is a lifelike material, almost like a sponge. And once you put this under the water, it releases scent the entire time that it's under the water, which is truly the magic of this bait, which is releasing a supercharged scent field around the bait constantly. And fishing offshore like we are here, having a bait with this much scent allows the fish to hold on to it longer, which is crucial to catching more fish, being able to detect those bites and know that they're on there and those fish aren't going to let go, and then getting that hook penetrated into them. Another key bait for me this week was the Berkley Power Bait Bearded Crazy Legs Chigger Crawl. And really all this is a soft plastic with a rubber skirt built into it. And this is really beneficial when you want to be weedless. You can fish this on a Texas rig, you can fish this on a jig head, a ball head, almost do anything with it. You have that profile of a skirt, except now your hook isn't exposed. So really cool design. This comes with the grass pig. So talk about a swim jig that is completely weedless. You can rig this up Texas rig style, put your weight right on it, and run this through the grass. And it also comes in a double and single tail grub. Just a really cool design to add another bait to your arsenal, and it adds a ton of action. If you swim this thing in or leave it on the bottom, gives the bait a ton of action. And the biggest fish I caught all week was on this bait, and I actually put it on a jig head, left the skirt of the jig on there, which I don't think this bait is intended for that, but it gave the jig a real full-bodied appearance to it. It flared the skirt out more than what it typically would, almost like a mop jig, but better. It really stuck it out there. So that was a cool little trick I stumbled upon, and I'll be sure to be pulling that out throughout the year. A jig, bearded crazy legs jigger crawl equals a 9.4 pounder. A 9.4 pounder! And another cool thing that I picked up on this week was the Abu Garcia Veritas rods. Now, I've been using Veritas rods since I started fishing tournaments, but a lot of things have changed since then. They redesigned the bait keeper this year so your line isn't getting wrapped up around it. And they also redesigned the reel seat with a micro-click reel seat that increases the comfort and sensitivity. But the one rod that really stuck out to me was the 9-foot heavy telescopic rod. This thing is awesome. It's a 9-foot heavy rod that you can launch a crankbait on. Ever since bass allowed us to use rods over 8 feet in length, being able to cast further has been a topic of discussion for a long time. So having this rod and having a deep diving crankbait, they just go hand in hand. And really, you almost want a stiff rod when you're deep cranking like that. You want it to be able to manage that crankbait and get it down deep. We've caught multiple fish on this thing, and it just really surprised me. I was really happy that I got to use it this week. Definitely something that I'm gonna have on tour next year.
That was awesome.
And like I said, this is a quick highlight of some of the things that stuck out to me this week. We got to work on some stuff that I'm super excited about it. I know you guys will be when it comes out, so stay tuned.